here, and they start their preseason camp tomorrow down in Starfire, and we'll have a few days there before they head off to Spain. We'll talk about those respective dates in a minute. But we have a not so great update. On January 14th, center back Jackson Ragen left the U.S. men's national team training camp after he re-aggravated a previous knee injury. And that's sort of curious wording from the U.S. men's national team because I don't remember the last time that Ragen had a knee injury. So that's maybe concerning, maybe just they use the improper wording, but I doubt that. It's unclear the severity. It won't require surgery, but it is believed that he will need some time to recover from that. Ragen has returned to Seattle for testing and treatment, so it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out there. Ultimately, it's a little disappointing because I know this is Ragen's first camp with the U.S. men's national team. You would have liked to see him get some more experience there and learn some more and just kind of take that in. Unfortunate, though, that was cut short, and hoping that the recovery is speedy. You know, it's tough with these international breaks. You never know what can happen, even in the preseason, and you'd like to be able to get that normal preseason and not go into the regular season hampered because you weren't able to get your full work in leading into the year. And we'll talk about how that might affect some of the signings later into the deal here. So we've been talking about it on and off the last few weeks because it's been rumored. On the 8th, we got some rumored details about potential signing Pedro de la Vega. The Argentinian forward is reportedly going to sign a 5-year deal for $7 million. Lannis, his current club, would retain 30% sell-on fee. The next day after these rumors all came out on the 9th, De La Vega was removed from Argentina's U23 camp due to an injury. It's considered minor, thankfully, and he could join the Sounders training before the team leaves to Spain, but that deal hasn't gone through officially yet, so we're still waiting on that. But it sounds like it's just about paperwork and a few dotted I's and T's here and there. So as you can see, we've got some depth. The team officially signed defender Jon Bell, who they picked in the reentry draft a few weeks ago. Another depth defender. You know, good to have this depth. I know at the end of season press conference, Craig Weibel said that they didn't anticipate any big moves defensively, and this really isn't a big move. It's nice to have depth. You know, you never know with injuries. Just talked about Jackson Ragen with an injury. But Bell is more of a guy on the left side of things, left-footed defender that could give Nuhu a spell if he needs it, and especially with the international breaks and such, you might need that. So you've also got a few different young options in there, but we'll see. Never hurts to have a good veteran defender on your roster. On the 11th, this is more rumored, Brazilian club Fluminense reportedly seeking to make an offer for left winger Leo Chu. Leo Chu, Brazilian as well, so it looks like a club from his country is looking to bring him in. The Sounders are reportedly asking for a $5 million fee, but no official offer has been made at this current point in time. So it could be smoke from Chu's camp, but you always have to check in on that first. On the same day, the club extended midfielder Josh Atencio through the 2027 season. It's a 4-year deal with an option for 2028 from the club. Atencio originally signed with the club as a homegrown player back in 2019 and has made 82 appearances since then. He's been a really strong defensive player, a nice player in the midfield that complements João Paulo, and we really saw that towards the end of the season. So nice for him to officially get a long-term deal and to make sure that he's going to stay here for a while. 2 seasons ago, at the end of the year, in the final game of the regular season against San Jose, Brian Schmetzer said that he wanted to play the youth more, the younger players on the club's roster. And Atencio is one of those guys. He didn't get a lot of playing time throughout this year's regular season early on, but as the season progressed, you could see that he earned those minutes and how stable and consistent he was with the ball and just as a player as a whole. And he's earned this opportunity. So really nice to see that with Atencio. The next day, the signings continued for the Sounders. The club signed forward Braudilio Rodrigues to a one-year deal with the first team. The deal has club options for 2025 and 2026. The club acquired the college protected period priority for him from New York City FC in exchange for a natural third-round selection in 2025's MLS Super Draft. So with the Defiance, really tore things up, 17 goals, some really nice shots in those as well. Seattle's been looking for kind of a spark up top and offensively as a whole throughout the last 2 years, and looks like maybe this youngster could do that sort of thing. Not sure how many minutes he'll get ultimately, but obviously, anytime you get promoted to the first team, it's a big accomplishment. So on the same day, the club did announce respective preseason training dates. Starting tomorrow, the 16th, through the 23rd, the club will be training down at Starfire, so we might be able to get a look at a Pedro de la Vega, maybe hear on what the updates from Jackson Ragen are. That first public training session that you can view is on the 16th, which is tomorrow. Then they get a few days off on the 26th of January through the 10th of February. They will head out to Spain for something of an annual trip that they've been doing the last few years to get some work in Spain. Then from the 13th to the 23rd of February, they will come back to Long Acres. So it looks like the club's anticipating that their new training facility will be set and ready just across the street, essentially, from Starfire. A little more than across the street if you've been down there to Long Acres, and that they'll be able to complete the rest of their preseason in their new building. So that'll be nice to see. That's all we've got there. Again, wondering when we'll get the official news on Pedro de la Vega. I say that now, and then it, of course, could happen while we're on air, which always seems to happen. But see, I got off a notification there. It scared me. But we've got preseason dates finally for the Sounders in training, so it'll be exciting to ramp up. It feels like we just got done with the playoff run, and now we're back here into preseason with the Sounders. So